Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. On this, what we call the St. Patrick's Eve, that would be March 16th. And regardless of what you may have heard from my mouth previously or seen written down on a computer thing, it's episode 74, not 73. I'm just saying somebody in their infinite wisdom had episode 70, 71, 72, 72, 73. And so this should be 74. And that's what it says in my notes, not in yours. So if you can just, in your imagination, change any place where you see 73 to 74, that would be greatly appreciated on both of our behalves. Bless you. Like I said, good morning, brothers and sisters. This includes our new members who may be joining us for the first time, wherever you may be and wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be. There you are. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCMLIX, and for today only, you can add a THC, as in THC-infused theologian, damn it, as in THC-infused theologian, or this theologian's high as Christ, that's it, THC, theologian's high as a Christ, that's right, still. So people have also, aside from calling me that, have also called me the racy reverend, the pervert pastor, the vile vulgar vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the minister of mischief, the wicked witness, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the frisky fry, the ass man abbot, the booty banging brother, the the high priest, father fistmas, the holy ho, the divine dominating dominator, the depraved preacher, the minister of making love, the clergy of cunning conversation while eating pussy, and that nasty N-word. Yes, indeed. The point is that I come by many names and by many methods, but I do not come easy or early. Amen. You know, so oh shit, you know something? I forgot to put something in my pocket. Oh, I don't have my rocket in my pocket. So let us begin in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck yeah? That's right. I just didn't see, if I don't have the mic in my pocket, you can't hear it when I drop the mic. When I say the fuck yes, you can't hear it. So that's why I gotta have the microphone in my pocket. Otherwise, you don't hear the fuck yes because they come from my pocket. Damn it. So I apologize. Now, it is time for our opening prayers. If you or someone you know is in need of opening prayer, or opening requests, or an opening healing, or opening forgiveness, or any such openings, request for an opening, send your request to me at the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, DRREVJELLYROLLE @gmail.com, just as it's rolling across the bottom of the screen. Yes, indeed. And please remember to add that E at the end of the roll. That's right. Add the E at the end of the roll. Or on the other hand, you won't be getting me. You'll be getting another Jelly Roll. And there are many imposters out there. None of them are as pretty or as articulate as this one, but they're out there. So trust me, or don't. But anyway, you don't want them to hear your blessings. Even if you don't trust me, don't trust them. Okay? So now for our disclaimer. While all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. So if you'll please bow your head, that's right, and I mean all completely, not just halfway, not just a little tip down like this. I mean all the way down, like you stole something and you're ashamed. Bow your head like that. Or it's like you're doing that little walk in the morning afterwards. That little walk, just like that, okay? There you go. So just bow your heads, and if you can't, just close your eyes and let Jesus do the driving while we pray. How's that sound? All right. So, dear Lord, please bless brother Simon Becker. Yes, indeed. Simon Fisher Becker, seen here daring the camera to add 10 pounds. He played Fat Friar in Harry Potter, and he also played it's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. He also played Dorium Maldivar in Doctor Who. Or this gentleman died on March 9th, and he was 63. His manner of death is undisclosed. Yes, yet another celebrity, be it a celebrity as you may, use that term as you might, has died from undisclosed. Yes, another life lost to undisclosed. Born in London, England in 1961, Fisher Becker had roles in more than a dozen TV shows like Puppy Love and Getting On. He also appeared in the 2012 Oscar-winning adaptation of Les Miserables. I think that's him. I think that's him. I didn't see the movie, so I don't know. Rest in peace, Simon. You have proven that while there are no small parts, there are some actors who are too big for their parts. Can I get a coffin to go? Yes, indeed. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Dwayne Wiggins. Dwayne Wiggins, one of the founders of the R&B group Tony, whose hit songs included 90s hits like Feels Good and If I Had Feels Good and If I Had No Loot. He died March 7th after a struggle with bladder cancer. He was 64. And no, we are not going by age of death. Another person was 63, 64. It's not going to go up like that from there. It just so happens that's the order. They didn't die in that order. I don't want people to get nervous. Like if you're 65 thinking, I could be next. Because he just did 63 and 64. Don't worry. It don't work like that. I don't think so. Wiggins played guitar. I already showed you that picture out of order, and provided vocals for the group, which was formed in 1986 in Oakland alongside his half-brother, Raphael Sadiq, and cousin Timothy Christian Riley. Oh, wait a second. Dwayne, Raphael, Timothy. Okay, not one Anthony or Antonio or Anton amongst them. Not one in the bunch. So why Tony? And why spell three ways? Like, Tony, Toni, and Tone with that little accent mark over the top of it. Why those three? They could just as easily use Toney. Okay? Which somebody's going to Tony. What kind of Tony is that? Well, that's let's see, it's an aristocratic, I should have written it down, an aristocratic or high-toned manner of style, or style. So if someone they're dressed like they're aristocratic, that kind of style, that kind of dress, see? So they could have used that. My point is they could have used that Tony, but they didn't. They have a Raphael and they have a Timothy. With the Timothy, they could have just as easily just called their band Timmy. They didn't have to be Tony. Because there's no Tonys in the band. At least there's a Timmy. The point is, I don't know why. Okay. The news of Wiggins' death came just 2 days after Wiggins' family announced that Wiggins had been struggling with his health. Quote, we wanted to share that Dwayne Wiggins is experiencing medical complications. He is working through it one day at a time, close quote. Okay, make that 2 days at tops. Rest in peace, Wayne. Dwayne. I don't know if $10 million is considered no loot, but even if it isn't, you ran out of time to spend it. That's right. Can I get a little loot myself? Dear Lord, please bless brother George Lowe. George Lowe, a voice actor known for bringing Space Ghost to life. Damn it, my finger. You know this? I got my finger. I'm having a spasm in my index finger. It's twitching. I'm not trying to change things. I got a spasm. Damn it. What a fucking time to get a spasm in your finger. Okay, so now I got to pay attention because my fingers. I understand. I'm not doing that on purpose. I have a spasm in my index finger. So he not only did he do Space Goes to Life in Space Goes Coast to Coast. That's what this is from. That guy. Well, he died age 67. An exact cause of death isn't given, but approximate cause of death could be anything. Could be approximate. Yeah, it could have been. Depends. He was an asteroid, a space ghost, right? Decompress too quickly, you get the bends and die. Well, the point is, there's no exact time of no exact cause of death. According to his family, he died on March 5th. Now, Lowe died after facing challenges following elective heart surgery. See, more elective fraud. That's what Trump ran on, trying to stop stent the steal. That's the whole point of trying to stop that elective fraud. Yes, indeed. No. See, honestly, that's not what I'm trying to do. Low. Let's do this. Because it's gonna. I don't want that to happen. To keep happening. Lowe first utilized his vocal talents working at local Florida radio station WWJB, when he was 15. From there, he did voiceover work for TBWS and Cartoon Network before eventually landing his iconic lead role in the aforementioned animated series in 1994. The show first ran from 94 to 99 on Cartoon Network. It was later revived in 2001 on Adult Swim when it ran through 2004. Lowe also voiced his Space Ghost character in the Space Ghost spinoff it was called Space Ghost Coast to Coast, the spinoff on Cartoon Planet. Also, he did the voice for him in the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie film for theaters, and he voiced them in The Brack Show, and he voiced them in Jellystone, and he voiced them in Robot Chicken, and more. Is that that is and more? He did the voice for and more. Rest in peace, George. In the name of the Father, the Son, and Space Ghost. Can I get a little blip? Yes, indeed. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Alan Simpson. That's right. Alan Simpson, or as his close friends called him, former Senator Alan Simpson, Republican of Wyoming. His close friends called him that. Simpson was a moderate conservative known for his witty humor, who was appointed to lead a commission on deficit reduction by former President Barack Obama. And he also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Joe Biden. He died Friday in hospice care at the age of 93. He died surrounded by family and friends, and I don't think Biden was one of those people. Otherwise, he'd have to be a suspect. You just don't up and die in 93 in the hospice. There's something going on. So he worked with Democrats like former Labor Secretary Robert Wright and former Transportation Secretary and childhood friend Norman Mineta. Yes, that's right. They were in the Boy Scouts together in 1942. That's where they learned to tie knots and whatnot. Mineta was imprisoned with his family as the Japanese Americans were in the Heart Mountain War Relocation Center near Cody, Wyoming during World War II. And Simpson grew up in Cody. So that's how they kind of met. They were scouts and they had one of those jamborees. As a matter of fact, they had the jamboree in the concentration camp because I guess you got a lot of pull then. But only one troop, one of the outside troops, one of the non-Japanese troops came inside the concentration camp for the jamboree, and that was the troop that Simpson was part of. And that's when they became lifelong friends up until the time of Norman's death. So Simpson was from a bygone era, a conservative who supported gay rights and their ability to tie the knot. Simpson also believed abortion was so personal, men shouldn't even have a vote on it. And many of today's GOP would abort Simpson just for thinking that. Simpson believed that humor, quote, humor is the universal solvent against the abrasive elements of life, close quote. He also said that, quote, telling the truth is the essence of leadership. If you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. That's right. So Simpson was honored in 2012. I already told you about that. That's Joe Biden. The picture with Joe Biden. Yeah, I did that. I had the picture out of order, so I just did the speech out of order too. Never mind. Rest in peace, Simpson. Rest in peace. At 6'7", you could easily take the moral high ground over today's GOP. That's right. Can I get an extra 7 inches? Let me explain that last mark. Yeah. Now, I don't agree that Matt is a worthless sinner. I believe that Matt has some worth. It's just all tied up in weed. But if he were to liquidate the weed, he'd probably have great wealth or great worth. So let me explain this little thing about having 7 inches. Okay. See, Allen was 6'7" tall. All right. He's buried 6 feet down. That means 7 inches is going to be sticking out of the ground. That's why I said, can I get 7 more inches? I didn't want people to get confused and think the 7 inches applied to something else when it didn't. Dear Lord, please bless brother Ulysses Lee Bridgman, or as his close friends called him, Junior. Former billionaire entrepreneur, University of Louisville and NBA basketball star, Louisville. Ulysses Lee Jr. Bridgman died Tuesday after a medical emergency in the Louisville during a fundraising event at the Galt House Hotel. He was 71. See, I told y'all it wasn't going in any particular order. You didn't have to worry. I keep my word. Okay. He was being interviewed by WLKY during an appearance at a luncheon for Scouting America's Lincoln Heritage Council. Okay, Scouting America they used to be the Boy Scouts of America, and they rebranded, trying to focus more on America and less on boys. So that's why they changed their name. Bridgman told the reporter that he thought he was having a heart attack during the interview, and he was taken to an area hospital by ambulance where he died. Wow. Nobody in that ambulance or in that hospital is trying to earn their Save a Black Man's Life badge. Just let them go. Damn. All right. Well, Bridgman owned an empire of Wendy's and Chili's restaurants, at one time owning more than 450 restaurants in 20 states. And he sold most of them in 2016. Okay. He also was a Coca-Cola bottler. Now, I know those are not bottles, those are cans, but take a look at the cans now because the price of steel is about to go up. We need that to make aluminum. Well, we need that to in the tin cans. So price that's going to go up. You're not going to be able to afford those much longer. He was also owner of Jet and Ebony magazines and part owner of the Valhalla Golf Club. Now, last year, last year, Bridgman went back to basketball, but as a 10% owner, okay? Real 10% owner, a real minority owner, not a fake owner, like, let's say, Kevin Hart, who pretended to buy the Warriors using his cash back. What a load of crap. Rest in peace, Junior. Rest in peace. Your number 2 hangs in the rafters, and so does your jersey. Can I get my collar retired? Dear Lord, please bless Brother John Feinstein, or as ESPN's Tony Kornheiser called him, Junior. Feinstein was a prominent journalist. He passed away Thursday at 68. Feinstein spent 4+ decades of work at the Washington Post, authored 44 books, and held several prominent radio jobs across sports. His brother Robert found his body in their home in McLean, Virginia. He says, I found him like that. They're saying it was natural causes. I found him just like that. I found him just like that, natural causes. Yeah. The only thing more suspicious than being surrounded by family and friends when you die is being alone when you die and your brother finds your body. That's suspicious. Now, in all honesty, I lost my interest in watching sports years ago, but I did admire John Feinstein's knowledge and his writing prowess. And if I ever went to a function where I knew that people were going to be talking about sports, since I did not watch sports, I checked out one of Feinstein's articles because he was one of the people that I would turn to for a brief synopsis of what was going on in sports. So I could talk basketball, NASCAR, football or soccer, whatever the season was, I could talk about that and sound like I was intelligent because I was just using Feinstein's talking points, and no one was the wiser. That's right. So rest in peace, John. On one hand, your bracket is busted. On the other hand, you may have gotten the best seats for March Madness. Can I get to the Elite 8 this year? Or at least the 16? At least the Sweet 16. Lord have mercy. And finally, Lord, please bless the people behind the scenes at Mind Dog TV. They are truly doing your work, helping to spread your word. They are alert and paying attention to everything that's going on, and that's the job. That's why they get paid the medium bucks. Yes, indeed. They're working hard to spread your word throughout the wordosphere, because your word should be heard throughout the wordosphere. These are not my words, Lord. These are your words that are coming through me, and I'm speaking for you through me to them. That's how that works. It's called the internet. The people behind the scenes could be anywhere today, but they're not. They're here, just wishing they were anywhere today. And that ought to count for something, Lord. MindDogTV.com, the place to go to get all of your Church of Satire gear. Or if you want to, what's this? Product placement? Good brew. Good brew for the good bruh. That's right. Trust your gut again. 2 scoops. 2 scoops. Just like raisins. Just like raisins. Put 2 scoops in your liquid. Whatever your liquid happens to be. Speaking of liquids, and now it's time for a little bump for the Lord. Now, I'm going to lie a little bit. This is not liquor this morning. I can't take any liquor this morning because I'm still having head issues from the liquor and the edibles from last night. So it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's an explanation. go back to episode 1 or 2 to find out the difference between an excuse and an explanation. I'm not going through that right now. So I don't have my microphone. So in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! That time it worked, even though I didn't have the mic. That's because I opened my pocket so you could hear them. So, brothers and sisters, today's sermon is like a hodgepodge because here's the deal. I was pretty messed up last night, and I didn't want to write the sermon last night while I was still messed up, because I was saying things that everybody was laughing. I was saying a bunch of stuff that people were just laughing at, but because we were all stoned, and I knew if I used any of that material, it would not be as funny. So as stoned as I was, I knew not to write down any of that stuff. Okay, I knew that because I knew it would be like you, because you're not in the same state of mind. You'd have to be stoned to even think it was remotely funny. So I didn't write it down. So now I can't even remotely remember what I said last night. I remember one thing. After dinner, we were playing Uno. It's a card game. For those of you who do not know what Uno is, I'm going to explain briefly. It's a card game, and when it's your turn, you are to play a card that is related to the previous card that was played. Now, if the previous card was, let's say, a green 8, you would play either an 8 or another green card, unless your green card is the only thing that's keeping you out of prison. And then you don't want to play your green card. If you have a wild card, you can play that instead. So just don't give away your green cards, at least not in this administration, for the next 4 years. And so the person to my left had just played a green 8, and I took 2 cards out of my hand, because you're only supposed to play 1 card. And I took 2 cards out of my hand, a blue 7 and a yellow 1, and I laid it down on top of the green 8. And the only person who understood what I was doing was the person who was not stoned. Everybody else who was stoned didn't get it, and we had to explain it. Okay, I thought it was funny. I still think it's funny. Anyway, that's beside the point. So that's why I didn't write it last night. I wrote it this morning, kind of. I just wrote 5 words this morning around 5 o'clock. 5 words. I wrote St. Patty's Day and Women's Month. That's all I wrote. So hopefully this is going to trigger some shit in my head. But I'm going to take a minute to think about it while we play a word from Sister Curly Hair So Bright. And she's going to tell
comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the spring and summer seasons now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Golden Hair So Bright. Yes, indeed. Thank you. She said that wonderfully. And her voice did not crack this time. Probably that was a year ago, I guess. Then that's why her voice hadn't cracked. So just recycle it. All right. So for the spring and summer, because I don't think there's any more room for anybody else on any more shows until the end of with this season, which would be winter until March 21st, okay, or 22nd. And then that's the first day of spring. So those 4 days, 3 or 4 days are booked. Don't even try it. You can try it because it may not be booked. I could be lying. So tomorrow is St. Patty's Day, on March 17th every year. And people know that day as a drinking holiday. All right. And that is why people know it. It initially started out as today to honor the St. Patties, which are kind of like beef patties, but they're made with little tiny saints. But if you don't eat saints, then they have the fake ones called the ain't patties. Just drop out the S and the T. But that's where it started. That's where it all started. But it became popular as an Irish holiday throughout the land, throughout the world, because of alcohol. Okay. And on tomorrow, for everybody in the bar, no matter what you look like or your actual heritage, everybody's going to be a little bit Irish tomorrow. And they're going to be with their little Irish drinking buddies, and they're going to be toasting with their little Irish drinks like the Killians and the other Irish stuff. The Baileys. I can't even think of any Irish drinks right now. Irish Baileys, Irish Car Bomb. That's another Irish drink. So people are going to be celebrating tomorrow. Now, in all fairness, okay, even though we're in the middle of Women's Month, okay, I don't believe an entire month needs to be dedicated to women or any other group for that matter. I say the same thing about February. I don't think Black people need a whole month of February to talk about things that people either, if you're going to talk about it, you're going to talk about it. Don't need it slammed down your throat for a whole month, because after a while, people will get rebellious and get tired of it. Because like, can you talk about anything else? And that's what's going on in March right now. Like almost every commercial, women did this, women did that. You know what you need, okay? Just like for St. Patty's Day, you need one day of the year to dedicated to women, okay? And that day just needs an alcohol sponsor. So we get rid of Women's Month and we replace it with Women's Day, and they have a sponsor like sangria, which is a very popular women's drink. Just whatever you do, don't drink if your bartender looks or sounds like Bill Cosby or P. Diddy or anybody, Donald Trump. Don't drink that drink, okay? Make sure the person who fixed your drink is somebody you trust. So Women's Month is going to run down to one day. Now, how do you pick that day? All right, how do you pick that day? Because women have different things they celebrate. Like it's kind of like President's Day. There's one day to celebrate all of the presidents. Okay, and I'm trying to think of July 4th. No, that's not the same thing. President's Day. Valentine's Day to celebrate all of the lovers. All right. Doesn't matter who you love, how you love, and why, or how much you paid to love them. Valentine's Day is that day for all of them. Or Labor Day. Okay. You have one day to celebrate all the babies that were born. That's, Labor Day. So Women's Day, we're going to have one day to celebrate all of the women. Now, one day that women should all celebrate. My wife thinks that this is my wife, Amona. She says that that's the day you celebrate the day they get divorced. Well, not all women get divorced on the same day, and not all women get divorced. Some of them kill their husbands. Not many. It's statistically, it's not that many, but it's still, that's how some of them ended with them. So what we're going to do at Women's Day is going to be the day before March Madness. So we're going to tie all this together. See, John Feinstein died, and he was a big proponent of March Madness. He was an announcer, and, as a matter of fact, they're going to have tributes to him all throughout March Madness, all the games, especially the ACC, to honor John Feinstein. So the day before March Madness start is going to be Women's Day, because once March Madness starts, the women are going to be forgotten for 2 weeks anyway. Those 2 weeks, they're gone. Men are going to be like, what? I have a wife? I have a girlfriend? What? I have a mother? I have a sister? What? For those 2 weeks. So that's your time to get your shit and sneak out. He won't even miss you. You'll have a 2-week head start. That's the day. So Women's Day will be the day before March Madness. And good luck. Now, that's all I got for that. That's it. So let me get you caught up a little bit. Convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, public housing resident Donald Trump can now add one more title to his long to-do wrong list. Terrorist. That's right. Trump is a terrorist. Let me show you what I'm talking about. He's a terrorist. See, most of you know what a terrorist is. That's common knowledge. Basically, someone who uses violence to change try to change the political landscape and/or opinion. Trump is a terrorist. He is trying to use tariffs to change political ideology and conversation and thought and threats. He's just threatening people willy-nilly with it. Just willy-nilly. Willy and nilly. Both of them. I gotta get my eraser. I forgot to load my pockets. So yes, Trump is a terrorist, and he's using threats of tariffs to tear down our system of government and wreak havoc over the people of this country and some parts of others. And the GOP and its MAGA cult, remembers, are just standing around like deer with headlights, blankly staring while they scratch their heads, try to figure out what the fuck's going on. They got that deer in the headlights look. Now, the funny thing is that AI realizes that Trump is a terrorist, because I asked AI to create images of Trump dressed as a terrorist so that I could insert those images here. I was going to try to do a little Trump as a terrorist magic and put the pictures up. And AI generated 12 images, well, about a dozen images. I don't know if it's exactly 12. I stopped counting around 10, and there were still more pictures left. And all of those images was Trump dressed as himself. So I didn't take the time to create a slideshow of Trump dressing like Trump when that's how AI thinks he looks like a terrorist. I'm just saying, if AI thinks your regular look looks like a terrorist, you're a terrorist. So, and some of those pictures was of him posing with this klepto coin, the currency preferred by more criminals. Well, more criminals prefer kleptocurrency. Now, earlier this week, Trump, while talking out of his neck, he's got those little folds there, and he goes, he had said that he had made eggs 30% cheaper. That's right. He says, I brought down the price of eggs 30%. That's right. And Trump claims that he just brought the price down of eggs 30%. And now, unless he caught an early sale on Easter candy, I don't know what the... That's right. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And neither does he. Now, I do know he knows that he's lying. And I know he knows that we know he's lying, so that we will spend a news cycle showing pictures of USDA grade A eggs. Okay. What I don't know is why the entire group of media people who were present when he said that, and I think it's called a gaggle when a group of them get together. What I don't understand is why they just didn't burst out into such a cacophony of laughter that they all themselves spontaneously began to lay eggs. I don't, is why no one said anything. He just said it, and it's like, okay. Now, maybe the eggs that he's talking about are the goose eggs he's been laying in the courts. Federal judges in California, that would be Judge Alsop, and a judge out of Maryland, Breeder, Bredar. I don't know if that's Breeder or Bredar. But anyway, they instructed the Musk-Trump administration to rehire thousands and thousands and thousands of federal employees that were wrongfully fired. Okay. They also ordered the OPM, Office of Personnel Management, into a ceasefire agreement. Okay. You can't get Ukraine and Russia to declare ceasefire yet. And Israel has already broken their ceasefire, or they're trying real hard. But OPM, we'll see how that. We're not having a lot of luck with ceasefirings, is what I'm saying. It's just not. But they've been ordered to ceasefiring people. We'll see how that goes. The Musk-Trump administration was ordered to release the U.S. aid funds so that the people that did the work already could get paid. See, they did the work and they can't get paid because that funds was being held up. U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper on Monday ordered the government downsizing team created by convicted felon unregistered sex offender public housing resident Donald Trump and spearheaded by a member of the billionaire caste system, Elon Musk, to make public records or make their records public. Okay, because Cooper said they have been running things with an unusual, it's been running, quote, unusual secrecy, close quote. What am I doing? Oh, I know it. I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, I'm having spasms in my finger. I have to be careful what I touch because I'm not trying to touch things. Well, I'm touching things on purpose. I'm trying not to tweak them or poke them. And my fingers are spasming and I think it's going through withdrawal. I may have to have another edible. I don't know. I don't usually have these spasms in the morning. Oh yeah. So the judge says they had like so much fucking secrecy. So Cooper sided with the plaintiffs, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, or CREW, and found that the Department of Government FUPC, DOGE, that's right, Department of Government FUPC, was likely an agency subject to the Freedom of Information Act, which means get up off the fucking secrets and answer our fucking questions, you pig. I think that's what FOIA stands for, but it's Latin. Look, the battle isn't over, and we, the decent people of this planet, have not yet won. This is going to be a long war with lots of casualties, us among them. And I don't say this casually. My concern is that whenever there's the next election, and we put new people in office, and people who we believe are going to fix things, and people who want to fix things, and people who plan to fix things, that they will not make things happen fast enough. And then the voters get impatient because it didn't take that long to break it. Why does it take so long to fix it? Have you ever tried to fix something after someone thoroughly destroyed it? Okay. Imagine you're a kid. You have a Lego house. Okay. It took, I don't know how long it took you to make that Lego house, but your big brother comes along and kicks it and goes all over the place and then just runs off or walks off or gets voted out of the house. and you're starting over to build that same thing with the Legos. Well, first of all, it's going to take you time. And second of all, you may not even find all the bricks. You don't know where you kicked them. So you're going to make the best you can and out of what you have left. And there are going to be some different bricks. You're going to have to get new bricks to replace the bricks that are just destroyed. It's not going to happen overnight. It's just going to take time. You're going to have the patience. You have to have the patience. It's like a sandcastle, and a bully comes along and just squashes your sandcastle. Okay, yeah, you still have sand, you still have water, but it's going to take, and you still have your bucket and your shovel, and it's going to take time to put it back together, and you're going to have patience. We can't just sit there and go, because that's what happened with Biden. Biden's economy was moving in the right direction, okay? And people just got tired of waiting, and they voted in Trump, and now shit's broken again. And if they're stupid, it can happen again. We get somebody in there who starts fixing things the slow way, the right way, the way you would build a house. You make a solid foundation. You put in your good wood and not your bad wood. You know, the bad wood is what you find on the streets, and you pay a little bit of less, not much money for. The kind of wood that's so bad termites wouldn't eat it, but a good crack whore will. So that kind of wood. We have to be patient. We will have to be patient when we fix things, but that is way off in the future. Way off. Right now, shit is still being broken, and broken good. But what we have to do is we have to keep fighting, okay? We have to keep fighting Trump and his enablers. And it doesn't matter if his enablers are Republicans or independents or Senator Schumer, or Democrats. Doesn't matter who his enablers are. We have to fight. Okay, we have to do our best and fight our best and in our best manner. And as you can see from that last example, okay, people who are calling, when you call your senators, even if you have a Democratic senator, do not assume that they're going to do the right thing, okay? Some of them are still politicians. Most of them are still politicians, and they have a political agenda as well. So we need to call them and encourage them to stand up and fight for us. All right. Don't think just because you're a Democrat and you live in a Democratic state and both your senators are Democratic that they're going to vote that way. Call them. Do not let them off the hook. Okay. So like I said, fight your best fight in your best manner. So if that's making phone calls, make phone calls. If that's writing letters, write letters. If that's protesting, get your ass out there and protest. Join a group, find a group of federal employees who've been fired by dickheads. Find a group, Indivisible. They're having a rally, nationwide rally, April 5th. Join an indivisible group. Easy for you to say. Donate money if you can. And if you can't donate money, like I said, do whatever you can and whatever it takes and whatever helps. All right. So as always, I'm just saying this. And I think we all can agree on this when I say fuck Trump. Okay. I think we can all agree on that. No matter what, we can agree. Fuck Trump. So that went faster than I thought. Maybe it's I don't know. I shouldn't be talking that fast, should I? Well, it doesn't really matter. I have no idea. I have no idea what that chat was. Somebody just sent me a chat, but it's for something else and somewhere else, and it doesn't concern you, so I'm never going to try to read it. All right. But in the meantime, what I would like to do is to promote my friend G.D. Fenderson. He has an account on Gig Salad, GIGSALAD.com. Go to Gig Salad, look up G.D. Fenderson, and hire him for your private events. And here's a sample, just a small. First, my mother killed my father when I was 8. Okay. Okay. They say it was cancer, but we knew. Mom, how did Dad die of cancer when he didn't smoke? How am I supposed to know? I'm not a Surgeon General. But see, after I got older and stopped being afraid of my mother,
I figured it out. My mom and my dad would be in bed, and my mom would be sitting on the edge of the bed. $15 years. It took her 15 years to kill him like that. That's determination. And that's why I never questioned my mother when she told me about my stepfather's suicide. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's just a wee sample. That's just a wee sample. You know, when I say we, I mean we, not like a bunch of us together did that. Although there was a bunch of people who did that. He had the camera people and the audience people, but it's a little sample. Gigsalad.com, GD Fenderson. Check him out. You can hire him for private parties. Not the kind that he used to do back when he was in his 20s. And he had a little more of a six-pack and a little less of a keg. He doesn't do those kinds of private parties anymore. Now, I do. So you go to gigsalad.com. You could also ask for me. I could bring the Blessings and Blasphemy show to your home when we get to play games like last night. We were all together and we were playing Pussy Putz Putz in the living room. Because everybody thought that was funny. Well, first of all, they didn't think it was a real game. It was like, you can't put that's a funny title. That's not a game, is it? And we played that. We played that game, and we also played a game. Now we don't have a name for it yet. We're still working on the name, but it's like charades, but it's more like porn raids. But we're like say we don't have a maybe we'll call it cinema raids. I don't know. We're working on an actual title for the game, but the game is like charades. But but every title that you pull out, everything, every clue, everything you pull out is a porn movie. So like you draw the title and you look, and the title is Debbie Does Dallas. Okay. And so you have to get everybody to know what that movie is with just hand gestures doing charade stuff. So and we played that last night. That was pretty fun. We don't have a name for that yet. We're gonna work on it. Because we have other games like Balls to the Face and a Squirtle and games like that. It's a bunch of games we have. Hungman, cock ring and balls. We can bring that to your home as well. And all games are consensual. If you try to play those games without consent, you could wind up on Law and Order SVU, and not as a victim. No. Olivia will be like arresting your ass. So I have a few minutes to kill before I finish to a close. I want to express my disappointment in Chuck what the fuck Schumer. I don't understand why he I can't do an old Jewish man right now. I can't. You know something? I'm going to follow somebody's advice, and I am going to do my closing prayer, and we're going to end this like 2 minutes early because I don't feel like vamping for 2 minutes. Here's the deal. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not like it when performers get on stage and they're like comedians, get on stage and they start telling jokes and they're bombing and they go like, I'm high, or they go on stage and they know they don't have good material. They go, I'm high as fuck. And then they just proceed to bomb because they don't give a shit. I give a shit. I didn't see they get high just before they go on stage. I got high yesterday, and I didn't know it was, and there was a little drinking too, so I didn't know it would still be, a little fog. I didn't know there would be a little brain fog left, residual brain fog. I mean, it doesn't matter how big the gummies are; it's how much THC is in them, right? So, yeah, I had 2 gummies. They're like this big, but that's size doesn't matter. It's how much THC is in them, and they did tell me. I just don't remember. Somewhere between 5, 10, 15, 20. I don't know. And then so I took 2 because they had 2 different flavors. Boysenberry, and some pink citrus thing. I don't know, but they're 2 different flavors, and they both taste really good together. And so that's why I did it. I didn't do it for the high. I just did it for the flavors. I mixed the 2 flavors, and it hit. And I was sitting down when it hit, and I didn't realize that I'd hit until I got up to walk. And I got up to walk, and I sat back down. And I said, "I'm fucked up." That was yesterday, And even then, I had the wherewithal to try not to write this while I was still fucked up. So my disdain for comedians that do it are people who go get high just before they go on stage, knowing that they have a job to do, and then they proclaim, "I'm high as fuck," and then they tell jokes and they're like, "That was funny when I wrote it when I was high." It's like that they're disrespecting the craft. Me, I'm just hungover. I didn't disrespect the craft. I overestimated my body's ability to overcome my craft. Overcome the craft. It doesn't matter. The thing is, I'm here. You're here. We're all here. So, brothers and sisters, before I close, I just want to thank all of you who've been adding membership to my Facebook page and my YouTube page, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with an E, DRREVJELLYROLLE. Thank you. Now, true, I am under the threshold of people it takes to make money, which I'm not worried about that right now. And I'm under the threshold where I can live stream on Facebook. Need more people for that, but that's okay. We're working on it. We're working on it, and hopefully you'll tell your friends and more friends, and you can tell your friends, and they can tell friends, and eventually we'll be doing all those things that the big boys do, or not. Because I don't have much time. I'm in my 60s. I can't be waiting this fucking long. You know how long it took to get the followers I got on YouTube? After a year? Come on, guys. Or gals. So don't forget, geeksalad.com. Check out GD Fenderson. You can hire him for private events. You can hire me to bring blessings and blasphemy to your home and play games with your kids. If your kids are 18 or older. So, but on behalf of the Church of Last Resort, of the entire royal family, my wife Amona, who is in good shape this morning. I talked to her this morning. She's like, "No, I have no ill effects whatsoever." No, except that she didn't do that. I'm just teasing. No, she didn't have that moment where she was like, that didn't happen. She's like, "Hold my hair." No, I'll say, honey, you want me to hold your hair? She said, "Fuck, hold my hair. Hold back my puke. Don't hold back my hair. Hold back the puke." Yeah, that didn't happen. She didn't have that kind of situation. Now, I know a lot of people get out there and they have too much to drink or too much to smoke, and they're like, "Hold back my hair." Not this time. Also, my kids, Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., our cat Tootsie, and our dog Stop Dropping. On behalf of all of them, I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox Time on Mind Dog TV and everywhere that our word is heard. So, brothers and sisters, let me find. Fuck it. I'll use this. Okay. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.